Our journey begins. It's day 10, June 10, 2024, and today we're going to talk about what is the movement, what is the force that we talked about yesterday. So there's a couple different objectives I think we could go through. So yeah, this is an overview of what we did. Definitely check out yesterday's stuff where we got to this. Basically the outcome was we need to start a membership, or the theory or the building of the kind of figuring out the idea of binding for the movement. So I have some thoughts about the movement, and the movement is such a simple idea, yet a big idea, and a complex idea. So yeah, I'm just thinking now, like, is everyone else probably figuring out this? I mean, this isn't necessarily a new idea or different idea. I guess it's just like one where we got to figure it out. So maybe I'm the only person that's figuring this out. I doubt it, though. Okay. So, general principles, what is the movement? And we kind of answered that over here, I believe. It's the force by which things actually change into the ultimate best outcomes. So I'm just going to connect that a while. Over here, and change that to curved. So, but like, okay, so we got that, like, okay, that's in general what it is, but let's talk about what would be the various aspects of the movement. It would be, and I kind of get into that with the objectives. So self-organizing. I wonder if I can set the default to curved. That would be kind of nice. Anyways, let's see, self-organizing. Why? Okay, if the definition is success, then how would you know, or how would you then build something that can't fail? Like if it by definition is the thing which is successful, which means it does not fail, how would you ensure that? The insurance, the process by which this is ensured, does this eliminate freedom? Okay. Why do you think this would do anything? Okay, why is this the answer? And this is basically just because why do we think this would be any different than anything else? Is this just a wrapper for other ideas? Is it just some kind of pie in the sky? Interesting. Is it just a pie in the sky idea with no real world application? Would there have to be a leader? Would there have to be a leader of the movement? We'll get into each of these then. I just wanted to get them all out here. And this will definitely not be the only time we talk about it. what percent of people would need to be part of this? Complete domination, monopoly of all people believe in this idea in order to work. What does it mean to be a member? What does it mean to be a member? Yeah. What about all the stuff that people mostly worry about now? Geopolitics, big money companies. And would there need to be big reform? Like, would it be a revolution? Reform? Okay, so again, it's the force or the group of, or the self-organizing, basically the self-organizing force by which things actually happen. So it all gets very tricky because you have to wonder, like, okay, are we talking about, wonder if I can do that. There we go. Curved. Now there's 2. Okay. So would there have to be a leader? Let's just do that as number 1. I would say no, since it's self-organizing. Yeah, can I change just the default? No. No, since it's self-organizing. Yes, since it's self-organizing. Like, what exactly? Let me ask ChatGPT if self-organization requires. Does self-organization require a leader? I don't think it does. May be helpful. But if it required a leader, then would it not be prone to like failing, essentially? So it's saying that can depend on context and the specific dynamics. Let me just throw this in here. GPT-4o. Does it require a leader? Does self-organization require a leader? Now, it's one of those things where GPT-4 gives you the answer that you kind of conditioned it to give you, but by the framing of your question or whatever. Okay, there we go. Let's try moving all of this over a teeny bit. Yeah, here we go. So Traditional leader. Emergent leadership can emerge organically. Distributed leadership. That probably is the way it will be. Collective. Consensus-based. Flat hierarchies. With leadership facilitators or coordinators, guiding principles or visionaries, leadership in complex systems. Leadership may be necessary. I'm thinking there's a difference between... There's a tough question, because anytime you would have to rely on a visionary person and that person screws up or whatever, then your system would fail. What about self-organizing system that cannot fail? Because that is a little different. It's saying that redundancy and diversity, you would need it's just talking about a self-organizing system in general. Oh, well, okay, so not specific to leadership, just the self-organizing thing in general. Which means I'm going to loop that from here. Okay. Redundancy and diversity, redundant roles, decentralized control, distributed resources, dynamic application, flexibility process, effective communication, inclusive learning orientation, creative problem solving, worker cooperatives. I'm not totally sure. It doesn't know what it's talking about in answer to that question. Okay, I'm going to ask it, what about specifically... I mean, logically speaking, if I think for myself, if you have a couple leaders, they could easily screw up. Yeah, here, let's move this over here and then bring something else. You could have leaders could screw up. You have they could become tyrannical. I mean, that's similar to like screwing up, but like they could like dependency. On the leaders. Okay, I got an answer from GPT here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that does not fit there. Can I change the text size? There we go. Leadership functions, shared vision. The group collectively develops and agrees on a shared vision or goals. That, I would agree, would be a necessity. Rotating leadership, I mean, could be, but I still don't think... having a leader necessarily is a requirement. Consensus-based decision making. I'm just going to get this started, and then we'll have to think about this today and tomorrow and whatnot. Okay, so this is I want to think about this. How do let's do that by style. I want to think about something. So let's do pink. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just to me, it just seems like, no, you don't want to have to depend on a leader. That's yeah. What percentage of people would need to be a part of this? Okay, well, the self-organizing force, this is going to be a whole topic in and of itself, so I'm marking that as think about. Would need to be a part of this complete domination of people. It depends. To be successful no matter what? I don't think so. I don't even think you would want. Just for the sake of differing opinions. Okay, what does it mean to be a member? This was one I definitely wanted to talk about. What about typical geopolitics? This is a tough one. It's like, seems important now, but how important is it really? Is it just the current construct we use to bind people, but will become irrelevant in the near future when there are other ways of binding people? Although I would also say, yeah, because money could become irrelevant. Money could become irrelevant, and companies could become decentralized. Not saying that's the most likely outcome, but it's possible. Would it be a revolution, a reform? Something different. I don't think a revolution or reform is the right word. Is it just a pie in the sky idea? This is one of those, like, we will see. So in that case, I'm not sure. Don't fully know enough to know for sure. Something different, I don't think. Okay. What does it mean to be a member? What does it mean, like, ontologically? And then I would say something like, someone who becomes part of the whole in the self-organizing system. So by definition, helps the system to be successful and follows the organizational principles. Yeah, the whole thing just starts sounding like tyrannical. But that's not what we're going for. It's unlikely that tyrannical things are the best option. So, ontologically, which might not be the right word for this, but remember self-organization, interdependence, relational existence. Your identity and role are defined in relation to other members. In relation to other members. Your actions and contributions are interconnected with the actions and contributions of others. What about individuality? And diversity. Yeah, let's draw an arrow here. Mutual influence. Every member has the capacity to influence and be influenced by other. Yeah. Your autonomy to make decisions and take actions within the system, formed by the collective need and goals of the system, active participation, emergent change, need system involving roles and skills, self-identity, shared knowledge, collaborative problem solving, continuous learning, feedback loops, collective responsibility, ethical engagement, self-regulation, emergent order. The whole thing just, what about individuality and diversity? What about freedom? It's kind of a big question here. Okay, freedom, individuality versus individuality versus self-organizing organization. I don't think these have to be mutually exclusive, but definitely something to think about more. Okay, so I got a couple of different things to think about. 100%. So this is basically an exploratory session. We will come back to this tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching and have a great day.